everyone, and welcome to my craft room today. Today I'm going to feature a couple of lovely 3D cards I've designed with the Sailing Home stamp set and the smooth sailing dies, which come together in a bundle in the new catalogue. Just bear with me, and I'm going to get my iPad up to date here so I can watch what I'm doing. I hope everyone's having a nice Friday. I definitely am having a lazy Friday. Haven't got much done at all with anywhere, but it's all good. We all need a lazy day sometimes. Just bear with me, sorry about this. Here we go, lovely, up and running. Okay, so as I say, this is the card here, or one of the cards I'm going to feature today. Hi everyone, hi Margie, hi Chrissy, did I see Donna? Donna, you should be packing or something. Anyway, so hi everyone, hi Angie. Anyway, so hopefully the light is okay in here. It's a bit hard at the moment, the shadows are a bit low and the artificial light's a bit stark. So anyway, let's see how we go. I'm just, sorry, getting my swipe left. Oh, sorry about this, I can't see any comments. Oh, here we are, I can see comments now. Lovely. So hi everyone, let's get on with this card. So as I say, this is we call this a bridge card, and I suppose if you have a look there you can see this little bottom panel here is actually forms a bridge over this sort of little dip here, this little valley. And I think it's quite sweet, especially when you've got some nice images you can highlight there. So anyway, we'll make this one, and the good thing about this one is it folds flat. It looks a bit strange when it folds flat, but it fits into a normal A6 envelope, which is handy for posting, nice and cheap to post. Okay, so the colours I have featured today with this one are Night of Navy, obviously the main colour. There's a bit of balmy blue in the background there. You can see in the little valley there, and the beautiful DSP from the designer series paper from the Come Sail Away bundle is also in there as well. I might just show you that if I can find it. Here it is. It's got some lovely sort of strong colours in there. Definitely perfect for the sailor in your life, or just a sort of general masculine cards. We've got some lovely blues and some greens. That's Mossy Meadow. That's a nice sort of beige. That's soft suede. And so we've got some lovely sort of nautical themed papers there. So very much worth getting in your stash. Because I often get people say to me that masculine cards are hard, and hopefully with this bundle you get that inspiration that you need for the men in your life, or the sailors in your life. Let's not put gender on it. Okay, so let's make a start with this one. I can see if you can sort of focus in on here, this little bit down the bottom here, I've actually put the measurements for the card here. I'm not sure that you actually can, but I'll put them in the comments as well, and I'll run through them as we go. So what you basically have for the main part of your card is a panel of Night of Navy. Now this panel is 4 1/8 inch wide and 8 inches long. And so what I've actually done to get the valley effect is score it. So basically it's scored 1 1/4 inch and then 2 1/2 inch, and then at, I've got to remind myself now, 5 1/2 inches and 6 3/4 inches. But basically if you go 1 1/4, 2 1/2, and then flip it and go 1 1/4 and 2 1/2 again, because it's symmetrical, you'll get exactly what you need. So there you are there. If you fold them into middle, you've got a bit of a gap in the middle, so they don't meet in the middle. So that's the main sort of part of the card. The bridge itself is formed by another piece of Night of Navy, and this is again 4 1/4 inches wide, so it's the same width as our scores, but it is 5 1/2 inches long. And so it actually fits perfectly if you line it up with the edges, the corners, it fits perfectly and it holds that in a perfect sort of right angles here and here, so that the card sits upright nicely. Sorry, I've got an itchy nose. Oh, my comments have disappeared again, sorry. Hi everyone, Lisa, thanks for joining me. And did I see someone from Canada? Hey Sandy, thanks for joining me all the way from Canada. Got a very good friend in Canada. I miss her terribly. Anyway, cool. Alright, so that's the main part of the card. So just to decorate it, I've got, as I said, the beautiful panels of the Come Sail Away Designer Series paper. So this is the one that's got quite a nice nautical stripe. So what I've done is I've cut it so that the vertical stripes are here on the sides of the card, like that. And then this one will pop. So I've cut it the different direction so that that fits on there, and it's also vertical when we attach it to the front, if you guys can see what I mean there. So we might attach those panels at least to get started. Here we go, getting the glue to work. You could put another layer under there if you felt that way inclined, sort of like put a soft suede layer or something under that, or the balmy blue, but I quite just like it straight on the Night of Navy. There we go. And another one here. So we've got those two there. I do have another card that I'm going to make during this video as well, because this one's going to be quite quick. It's going to be one of my old favourite box cards, but I think this stamp set, this bundle, also lends itself to sort of making really nice box cards as well. Oops, sorry, my paper's moved. Just do this last little bit here. Oh, got on my fingers. Pop this one on here. Just as straight as I can. Now this card, the one I'm doing at the moment, actually features in my July online class. I'm actually featuring the Come Sail Away bundle in my July online class. I've designed 5 cards, and if you enroll in the course in the online class, I'll give you access to my exclusive VIP video Facebook page where you can get the instructions for all 5 cards. Including this one, so you're getting a bit of a sneak peek. Hey Lisa and Jenny, and Jenny, thanks for sharing. So okay, so as you can see there, we've got the basis of our card, sort of the structure of it pretty much made. I won't attach that just yet because we've got some fun stuff to do in the middle. What I actually have in the middle of this card is a panel of balmy blue, and that's cut at 2 3/4 wide and 4 inches long, and you can see it fits perfectly in the middle. And I've run that through the embossing folder. I think it's Seaside textured embossing folder. I think it's actually retired, but there is a new one that comes with the bundle that has the same sort of wavy effect. So you can either use this one if you've got it, or grab the new one that comes in the new bundle. So that's just a piece of balmy blue, and I think it looks really cool because it looks like it's a wavy scene, which is really nice. So I'll add that here. So because of the little ribs on this one, you need quite a lot of glue on that, and it does seem to sort of weaken the structure of the paper when you pop it through these embossing folders. So it's good that it's on a nice firm base of Night of Navy. So we'll just chuck that on there. Glue everywhere. Is Michelle watching? She'd laugh at my glue everywhere. Oh gosh. Anyway. Can I zoom in on the measurements? Yes, Sunny, I will. Hang on, what's the easiest way? If I move my camera, I might not get back. I'll bring the measurements a little bit closer to you. How about that? And I'm just watching there. So I'm just watching to see my my iPad catch up with my camera, just to make sure I'm in the right spot there. You can just about see it there, but I will actually put them in the comments, so you guys can pause it there if you need to, or otherwise I'll just pop it in the comments when I'm finished. Okay, so we've got our card there. So what I need to do now is actually stamp and cut out some of our images from our stamp set. So the stamp set, as you can see, has lots of like nautical themed images. We've got a lighthouse, which is the sort of feature of this card. You've got a large yacht and a small yacht there. Plus we've got some really nice really nice sentiments there, that's sort of just something a little bit different, and it's something a little bit sort of with the scrolly writing. It's quite nice as well. And this rope here is really nice for creating like a DSP background, or a background for a card just with multiple rope images. Anyway, so what I've got in here, I've got my already stamped, what's the word? I've lost it now. Already blocked up. I've got the lighthouse, the small yacht and the big yacht. And what I'll do is I'll stamp and cut those out. Okay, so the lighthouse is in soft suede. So there, you could use crumb cake if you haven't got soft suede, and you can sort of, it's quite bold colours, but you can stamp it off if you want to, but I haven't in this one. So just one lighthouse image here. Okay. And for the boats, I've done them both in Night of Navy. A small one. And the large one. So I'm just stamping those on a small piece of Whisper White. I think I'm actually using the thick Whisper White here because the little cutouts do need to maintain their shape a little bit. You'd be quite alright with normal Whisper White, but I think I've just gone for a little bit of strength here. So I will get the dies. I'll just show you these as well. There's so many dies in here. You think you'd bought two sets. So we've got our small and large sailing ships here, which are the ones I'm going to want. But you also get this really cool rope, which is the rope that's actually on the front of that. So it's embossed and cut. And to go with the rope, you've got a sort of sailing knot already there. You've got some rather funky seaweed, which I'm going to use in my second card. What else? A couple of little sentiment banners. This one we're going to be using for this card, but the second card I used this smaller one. An anchor, which goes with the stamp set. A boat steering wheel. What do they call them? Yeah, you know what I mean. And these two here are actually the dials for the compass, so you can actually stamp the compass from the set and then add these to give it a little bit of dimension. Okay, but that's a really good, nice and varied die set there. But I've already got these out. These are the ones I want. I won't bring my Big Shot into camera because it makes everything wobble so badly, so just bear with me and I'll chuck these through. It's a matter of lining them up. Use your magnetic platform if you've got it. If you've got one, I find it's probably the best thing I ever bought with some of these dies. Just popping them through. Forgive the blank air on the video. Won't be a second. Okay, so there we go. here we go. So we have our images cut out here, and I really like this big sailing boat here because it's actually got, the panel comes out tiny there, and if you can see that, it actually has, you can see through the sort of where the gap in the sail would be, so I think that adds a bit more, you know, it's just not a flat image, it's actually got a bit of movement to it. Okay, so what are we going to do? We'll bring our card back in, and I'll do inside, I'll decorate the inside first before I sort of finish it off. So here I've got in Whisper White that sentiment die that I spoke about. So I'm going to stamp that with one of the sentiments from the set, and I will use, you could use either of these two large ones, but I've used this one, I think. This is Set Sail in the Direction of Your Dreams. So I mean, this would be perfect for a graduation, for just any birthday really, but a graduation or something, or a changing jobs. You know, someone's leaving one workplace and going to another. I've actually got the wrong one out. So that's sort of really, that's unusual. You don't really get those sorts of opportunities to make cards. Set Dreams, Set Sail. Here we go. So this one. Set sail in the direction of your dreams. Just trying to see the comments as I go. They keep disappearing here. Faina. Hello, Faina. Can you... Okay, cool. Morning, just fanning on my feet. Oh, hi. Thanks for joining me, Lee, as you should be getting ready for work. I know what that's like. I often have conversations about stamping when I should be getting ready for my day job. It tends to, real life gets in the way of our hobby, unfortunately. So just lining that panel up on my grid paper so I get it straight. I'm actually just going to stamp that one in the middle there. Hopefully somewhere in the centre. Yep, so that's pretty good. So Set Sail in the Direction of Your Dreams. There's actually also a no, there's not. There's a congrats in there as well. In there, so you could use it in tandem with the congrats because it's sort of like a, as I say, with a graduation or getting a new job, you could do that. Okay, so oh, I'm lost. Here we are. So on the inside of this one, I've popped the sentiment just in the corner there, like that. Just a bit of glue on the back. And flip her over, and just in the top left hand corner of the inside panel, just positioning that there. Again, with the embossing you sort of need quite a bit of glue, just to, so you make sure you get it to stick properly. Usually the one I'm talking to is Donna Gray, yes, as we both get ready for work. And then on the inside of that I've put the smaller, next to that I've put the smaller of the two boats. I just thought because it was smaller, it sort of looks like it's in the distance somewhere. So that's quite nice from a perspective point of view. So just position that so it slightly overlaps your sentiment panel there, just for a bit of interest. And there we go. So you imagine that once that's up like that, you can see that boat off in the distance sailing in the direction of his dreams. Cool. So what we might now do is actually assemble the card properly with our front panel, our bridge. So I'm just going to, obviously I don't need glue all the way along, I just need glue at the two ends where it's going to, I nearly did that then, I nearly did that absent-mindedly. Just on both edge, and then you line it up, so you line up the corner of your card with the corner of your bridge, and because our glue lets us have a little bit of a play, just sort of wriggle them until they're perfectly in line and hold them. Glasses off again, so I'm just going to check this end and hold it in place till it just sort of firms up a little bit. And then the same at this end. just firms up a little bit. You could use double-sided tape for that, I think, probably, if you wanted to not have to hold it till it sort of sets a little bit. But there you go, you can see we've made our bridge over our little valley there. Okay, so that's the front. So basically just finishing it now. I talked about that rope. So here I've got a piece of the rope, and that's been cut out of soft suede cardstock. So I'm just going to pop that across the front. Just thought it was quite sweet. Be careful you put the glue on the right side. It's very fine, so just maybe a few dots of glue. Don't go too mad, if that's possible. Now it's not quite long enough to go all the way along this one. It's probably only 5 inches, comes up a little bit short. So just lay it from one end to the other. And then I've got the little bow, a little sailor's knot, which I'm going to put on the very edge there. And it'll disguise the fact that our rope pulls up a little bit short. So there. What do you think? Does everyone like that? Alright, I'm looking at the comments again. They keep disappearing on me. Hi Karen and Sue. Thanks for joining me, guys. More of my wild heart crafter friends. Little group. Okay, so that's almost done now. So we've got our lighthouse, which I'm going to pop on this front corner, so it actually just overlaps the edge a bit. You could line it up there so it's on the edge, but I think it sort of adds a bit interest if it's slightly suspended in space. And then I've got our other boat, which I'm also going to pop slightly over the edge on the other side, so it looks like it's sailing more close to the fore vision sort of area. So I just need glue down one side. Oh my goodness, what's that? Just need glue down one side of the lighthouse. And pop that one there. Cool. Just force it, just pat it in so it doesn't move. There we go. Sort of happy with that. With the lighthouse, the ground it's on is slightly uneven, but you can line up this central sort of spine in the structure, and that make that sure that's straight up and down. And then my second boat, I'm going to just need a tiny bit of glue on the sail and that there, because again I'm going to sort of suspend it in thin air a little bit over the edge of the card. Cool. There we go. So that is my bridge card using the Come Sail Away bundle. I think that's really, really nice, if I do say so myself. You can see the boat in the background, and then the two boats, the boat and the lighthouse, in the foreground. Just bring that one up a bit so you get the light. Yeah, so as I say, it folds flat like this for posting, and then displays just like that on the shelf, which I think is really, really nice. So we've got two of those there, much the same. Okay, so as I say, that one is it's going to be featured in my online class. So if you'd like to look on my business page, you'll see all the details about enrolling in my online class. Yes, I think it is a lovely masculine card. I think that was Lisa that said that. Sorry, comments have gone again. Oh. Okay, so are we still on? I think I just got rid of something that I shouldn't have got rid of. Are we still doing it? Yep, cool. Okay, now, so getting on to the other one, which is probably a little bit of spontaneous from me, because I haven't actually planned it out too much. I've made a prototype, but I wasn't overly happy with it, so I'm going to be changing it a little bit for the video. So we'll put those aside for the moment. Okay, the one I'm going to be making, I think as I promised at the beginning of the video, is one of my box cards that I make. And this one, again, is using the images and the die cuts from the Come Sail Away bundle. It folds flat like this, and it fits in a 6x6 or 6 inch or 15 centimetre square envelope. It's quite nice. And what you actually do is you pop, I haven't popped it on this one because I wasn't really happy with it, you pop a panel of white, whisper white on the back here so that you can put your personal message on the back there rather than trying to work out where to write on the rest of it. So I'll give this one a bit of a go, and I'm changing it slightly as I go, so you'll be able to tell me what you think as we go along. Okay, so if you look at my blog, I've got all the details from previous box cards I've made, but I'll quickly run through the measurements here as well. What we basically have is a 5 inch by 10.5 inch piece of Night of Navy cardstock. And what I do, and I don't know if you can see the shadows of the scores in the light from my window, you score at 2.5 inches, 5 inches, 7.5 inches, and at 10 inches, so leaving just a little narrow band at the end, and then in the mid, right along the middle, so 2.5 inches on this edge, 2.5 all the way along. Then you get your trimmer and you cut the panels from the top to the centre. So you get sort of these 4 little panels cut with a tiny little one at the end. The tiny one at the end you actually cut off, and that's going to give you your tab for gluing here. So you can see there, as I say, I've made a few of these and they're all at my blog. Once you get the hang of it, they're all pretty much the same. So I'm folding this one to form our little box, and I will glue this tab. Now forgive me, my favourite glue for gluing the tab is a glue stick. Don't tell me why, I have very specific glues that I use for very specific things with these box cards, but you get into habits of things. Okay, please forgive me if I'm missing the comments, they keep disappearing from my iPad and I'm getting quite angry. But I don't want to get angry, so I'm going to forget about it. Okay, so we've got that glued down there, and the thing that to remember when you're doing box cards is always test that it folds flat. So every sort of step of the way, fold it flat and make sure you've glued it correctly. So I fold this one flat and force it down to glue, and then I'll do it the other way so that I know that I have got my measurements right and it will fold flat. So here we have the basics of our box, and you fold the two sides and the front panel down, and as you can see there we get our platform, our stage, which we then will go and decorate. Okay, so that's pretty much done at this stage. I can pop that aside. What else I have here for completing the card is I have 3 panels of, again, Balmy Blue, and again I have popped them through the Seaside Dimensional embossing folder, and they are 2 3/8 inch square, so there's 3 of those. And then I have a plain panel which is also Balmy Blue, and it is 2 3/8 inch wide, and I think it's about 3 inches long. So it's the same width as our little 3 square ones, but it's slightly longer, and you'll see why I've done that in a minute. So I've left this one unembossed, and I'll show you why in a minute, because I actually wanted to do some stamping on it. This is the one for the back of the card, so it's going to have the lighthouse on it like that. This is one of the changes I've made as I go. Okay, so what will we do? I might actually just attach these panels. So bringing the box back in, I'll attach these panels on the front and the side. So again, a fair bit of glue just so you can get your panels to adhere properly. So this one here will go on the front. Now you can use, and I generally use, I've done this one a little bit differently, I often use DSP on these panels, just because, just to match it with the cardstock I'm using. I actually did want the wavy effect of the embossed cardstock on this one, so I sort of went with the embossed Balmy Blue instead. It's disappearing on me. Anyway, I'll answer all the comments when I'm finished. Apologies, guys. So again, a bit more glue. I'm going to go through a whole glue with this one. And this one goes on the side. Oops. So line it up. So I've left it, basically it's got an 1/8 of an inch gap all the way around. It just helps you with your measuring. And this is the last one. So I'll pop that one, fair bit of glue, and we'll pop that one on this side. There. So that's our 3 box flaps, I suppose you'd call them. What's it? Opener box flaps, yeah. All sort of decorated with their blue. This one here will go on the back there, as I've mentioned. It will go on the back there with the oh, I've dropped my lighthouse. Sorry guys, I've got to go under the table. Oh, wobble wobble. Okay, so this panel, which I haven't embossed, will go on the back with the lighthouse in front of it. And the reason I've left it unembossed is because I wanted to, in the stamp set, we've got some really nice, and I know it's quite simple, but some really cute silhouettes of seagulls. So I thought I would just give it a bit of interest by putting some seagulls. So there they are, I've put them on the block. I don't know if you can see that. Sort of, they're just in various parts of flight. I thought in some, well, I use black, probably black, some tuxedo black. I'll put them either side of where our lighthouse is going to go. So the lighthouse is going to go there, roughly. So what I thought I'd do is put some seagulls around it. Okay, so we'll go. Might move him out of the way. One might be slightly behind. Put a lot of seagulls there. See how cool they are? And rotating slightly, put another group of seagulls there. So what do we think of that? And then my lighthouse is going to be, it's going to cover them over a little bit, but I don't think that's too much of a problem. There we are. Yeah, so I might have brought that group out a little bit there, but I don't think it matters too much. Okay, so I will, do I like that? Hang on guys, I'm reassessing as I go. Do I want to flip it before I do it? Hang on. I'm going to flip it, sorry. Joys of live crafting. I'm going to do that again. But I'm going to, which way will that go? I'm going to put him slightly that way. Yeah, I think I'm going to like that better. And then I'm going to put that one. There. Okay, I think that's a bit better. Sorry. Probably I'm the only one who would notice, but I wasn't quite happy with it before. Okay, so get that out of the way before I have a disaster. I'll put this panel at the back. And it's slightly longer than the others, just so it goes a little bit further down into our box. And I like to do that just so that you don't see, when someone's looking at it on a shelf, they don't see a gap there. They don't see a break between the background and the actual card base. Okay, so what I might do then is now just attach our lighthouse, and I'm going to let the lighthouse poke over the top of the card just a little bit, not too far because it won't fit in the envelope, but just there. Let him go just slightly over, lining up so he's straight, and there, that's alright. Just let him, he's the top of the lighthouse poke over the top of the card. There we are. Cool. Alright, so that's the lighthouse done. So we can do the rest of our decorating now, and I can actually get rid of that bit for the moment. So the rest of the decorating we do with the box card is you make yourself a couple of little like brackets. And the brackets are, they've got a 1/2 inch tab for gluing it up both end, and the width of them is the same width of the card. So this is a 2.5 inch wide card, so it's 2.5 inches there with 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch. So basically it's a 3.5 inch piece of cardstock scored 1/2 inch from both ends. So you get 2 of those, and as you can see they'll fit perfectly into the body of our box there. Hope you can see that. It's a bit hard in Night of Navy. So what I've got here to put in the foreground are the two boats, so the big boat and the little boat, or yacht, there. And I have actually cheated a little bit because, oh, where is it? I have actually made, using a retired die set. I don't know if anyone ever had it, but it's one of my favourites. It's the Magical Mates. That's the one with the it had a unicorn and a really cute knight and a dragon. Anyway, these it also had a mermaid in it, and these little dies were supposed to be they make the sea for the mermaid. You can see you've got some waves happening there. So what I've actually done is I've got 2 of those. I'm actually going to, and if you haven't got the set, of course you can't do it if you haven't got the set, but I think it just gives it a little bit of, if I pop that on there, behind, and then I'll put my boat in front, it sort of gives it a little bit of actual wave, a little bit of waveage happening. It just gives it a little bit of more interest there. That's something I didn't do in the other card. So what I'll do is I'll just pop my waves on, so just with another piece, a little bit of glue there. I'll pop the wave in behind our bracket just so it's pointing, showing up a little bit. You could do your waves, I mean, if I could do some more, you could do another set of waves maybe in the balmy blue and line them up so that they sort of overlap a bit, so you've got some like 3D happening. So that's really cool. What do we think of that? That looks like the boat itself is actually in the waves. Ooh. Okay, I won't do it now because I haven't, but I'm going to do that in my next one. Okay, so we'll put the boat, so we're going to need a tiny bit of glue just at the very base of our boat, not very much, and put him, I've got to remember which side. The thing with box cards is you don't want to, you want everything on one side, so you have to put things for proper perspective. Okay, so we've got our boat there. That's our big boat there. So I've just glued that with a little bit of glue on the back there, just so he sits there tucked up behind those waves. And again, the boat has been stamped in Night of Navy, and the lighthouse is soft suede. Okay, so that's one. And then I've got my other little boat here, and I've got another set of waves. And I'll pop the waves on. So as I say, these waves are from a retired set. If you haven't got them, that's all good. I just thought the waves would add something to this one. So I'll pop my waves on there, and again my little boat's going to sit up and behind the waves a little bit. Okay, so a tiny bit of glue just at the very bottom of the boat. And this is why I use the stiff cardstock, just so that they support themselves a little bit. And I'll just hold that in place just till the glue sort of stiffens a little bit. Cool. So, as I say, we've got our 2 brackets here with our 2 boats and what I've changed from the previous card. In the previous card I had the small boat at the back and the large boat at the front. I wasn't quite happy with that, so this time I'm going to flip them around. I'm going to have the large boat at the back and the small boat towards the front. Sorry, I'll flip that so you can see it. There we are, with our waves. So it looks like we've got a bit of choppy sea happening. Okay, so again, you just use some glue to attach on your little tabs here, just to glue it into your box. Again, I have this strange thing where I use glue stick on these. I know the girls that come to my classes say, now I swap to the glue stick, and they look at me as if to say, what? But I think it just, it's easier to manipulate for me. So I'll pop the big boat here at the back, slightly raised up and even. So you've got to make sure that you're straight and vertical, and that you are the same distance from the back. So the same distance from, so you're even distance there. And as I say, when you're making a box card, always do a sample fold. So what you can do is make sure you've got that in the right position, fold it flat, and then press it where the glue is, and that will actually force it into the right position. And then do the same thing, folded the other way. And then you know you're not going to get to the end and find that your card doesn't fold flat and you can't get it in the envelope. So that's the big boat in the background, and I'm going to put the smaller boat in the foreground. So again, back to my old trusty glue stick, and the smaller boat in the front. There we go. So again, making sure that it's perfectly vertical and perfectly straight. When you think you've got it right, do your sample fold again. So that's folding nice and flat, and then fold it the other direction and make sure it folds flat as well, and just force it. You can tell the glue would be there and there, so you just press it firmly so the glue sticks in position. Okay, so what do we think of that? I don't know, I think I actually do prefer it with the little boat at the front and the small boat at the back. So, but it's up to you which way you feel you like it, but I think I like that one better. Okay, so we've got that done. So at the front we've got lots of panels that we can, when you do a box card, there's lots of panels you can decorate. I usually pop something on the front, sort of like often it'll be the age of the person whose birthday it is, or a sentiment. This time I thought I would use the wonderful other dies that we actually have with this set. We have the pretty funky seaweed there, and that's cut out of Mossy Meadow. I've got the ship steering wheel, yeah, which is cut out of soft suede. And I've got the banner, the smaller of the two banners, which is in real red. I thought that would give it a little bit of a lift, a bit of colour, because we've got some fairly sombre colours happening there. So I'll stamp that one in a minute. Okay, so our seaweed, I'm just going to pop some dobs of glue on the back, not too much. Doesn't have to you know, last the test of time really, all that much. I'm not hoping for archaeologists to dig up my cards and find them still stuck, which is the good thing. Some of the times I use so much glue I'm pretty sure they will be dug up by archaeologists in thousands of years, still stuck together. So I'm going to put that seaweed there just at a slight angle, so it's like goes across that way, and it's sort of quite nice that it sort of peaks its little head above the top of the card a little bit. So that's quite good. And then my steering wheel, I'm going to pop that down so it sort of looks like it's sunk to the bottom of the sea in a recent or not so recent shipwreck. So pop a little bit of glue on that one, and I'm going to pop him just there, just in the corner. There we go. So I think that's quite nice. I think actually the front of that card's actually probably a highlight of the whole thing. And then I've got my nice red banner, And as I say, there is a congratulations in the stamp set, but there is also a thanks. So I've got congratulations on the first one. I'm going to use thanks on the second one. So here's my thanks. I haven't put the sticker on that one yet. I might go stickerless just for the moment, just for so you don't have to sit here and watch me put stickers on things. So just line that up with my grid and line it up with through there. Okay, so I'm going to do this in black as well, just so it stands up nicely from my with my real red banner sentiment. And hopefully I've got that the right way. Yep, so lining it up top and centre. Thanks, that's pretty good. I hope you can see that just there. Just says thanks. And I'll grab my card back in and I'll put that there, just so it's sort of slightly over the edge, and I'll show you in a second why you've got to be careful with these cards that you choose which edge to go over. So I know that I'm safe there, and I'll show you how this one's going to fold flat in a minute. So I'll just pop my thanks there. There we are. So what do we think of that? Is that pretty cool? That's pretty cool, I think. Excellent. So when this card folds flat, it'll fold flat this way, and so you know, it fits within the boundaries of the envelope. There we go. As I say, I will also get a panel of Whisper White and cut it the size there to put on the back for personal message. Okay, I think that's turned out really well. I actually prefer that one to the original that I did this morning. There we are. I'll pop that so you can see. So there's our two box cards, sort of with an under the sea or nautical theme. So that's all I wanted to show you today. I've got my 2 box cards and my bridge cards, sort of both with a nautical mail sort of theme to them. I hope you've enjoyed those. As I said, this bundle comes with, you can buy it as a bundle with the stamp set and the dies, but you can also buy it as a suite with one order number. You get the bundle, the paper, some awesome twine, which is sort of a soft suede and Night of Navy twine. You get some awesome, where are they, trinkets. The trinkets are really cool. So I do use the trinkets in my online class. The trinkets, we have a ship's wheel and a really cute little anchor. So I don't know if you can see those. So you can buy them separately, or you can buy them together in a suite with a single order number. But that's really good. I'm really pleased. As I say, lots of ladies ask me for masculine card ideas, and I think this is a must-have for that very purpose. Anyway, thanks for joining me, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed my cards today. Like my page. As I say, I'll put all the measurements into the comments, but there will eventually also be a blog. So watch out for the blog, and have a great weekend, and I will see everybody next week. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.